All right. Welcome to another podcast, live show. Just a few things to go over, what's been going on, what you will see in the future videos here on the channel. I have been quite busy. I have videos scheduled to go public all the way through, May. I got rest of this month. I do believe I got all Wednesdays and Fridays scheduled for May. I think it's May 29th, I think it is. The last Friday of the month. Yeah. So I've been quite busy. What I've been doing is getting the new RV park up and running. Got the fiber, had a little issue, and you will see a video on that probably in May sometime. Can't remember exactly what Wednesday or Thursday, but you will see a video about that. It was giving me a little fit of not want to cooperate, not want to communicate. But I figured out what it was, and it seemed to work. As I said in the last show, I've noticed a lot of people showing up early this year. And just like any other summer since I've had the new RV park, not the newest one that nobody's in yet, but the one on the beach, the word of mouth. A few people, I would say probably about 20, 25, got it on the first summer. And their neighbors and friends that's in the RV park said, well, I'll let you keep it for like a year and let us know how it works before they jump aboard. Well, it seems like everybody wants to jump aboard, and the boat is getting full. We're getting, my nose wants to itch. Goodness. I think I'm somewhere around 60 people in that park now. I do believe. Let's see. In the web base, I can't tell, but I do believe I can tell here. But it's somewhere around. Let's see. Where you at? Let's see. I know somewhere around 60. Let's see. I got 49 and 8. That'd be 57. I knew it was close to 60. 57 people in there so far, according to the app, that the CPEs. And since they're getting there early, they are jumping aboard and getting the internet itself. I got 2 tomorrow to do in that park alone. I have been working on the newest RV park, and if you've seen my previous videos, I had issues with the fiber, the splice itself in the ground. The connector box that I had, it said on Amazon that it can be directly buried. No. I tried it twice, 2 different ones. The seal does not keep the moisture out. So I had to come up a way to fix that issue. And it dawned on me about when I did heating and air, French drains on commercial units. I do believe it's been a while. A 5-ton or bigger, you have to have a French drain. So I built a French drain with a container over it that the splice will sit above rock but be in the container below ground level. I do believe that's going to work. That way it does not get saturated. It can breathe. So we're going to find out if it works or not. Hopefully it will, because sure don't want to wait until people get in there and try to figure it out. But I think this is going to work. Being in completely in the ground, it's constantly surrounded by moisture. But it is what is it? IP56, 58, whatever that is, that it's supposed to be able to be submerged completely in water, like 2 or 3 feet or something like that, for like 30 minutes. So since it's sitting above all that rock, if any water gets in there, it's going to, a French drain, it's just going to filter right out, because I put a good 4 or 5 inches of rock, and then I put the split box on top of that, and then surrounded the whole container with rock. So it should work. That's why I don't like making splices in the ground, because sometimes it just gets penetrated with moisture and it just does not work. I've been playing around and self-teaching myself about VLANs. It's something that I've never needed. So I never really had any interest in it. But I figured, why not, since I have the time at night, sit here and just binge watch videos and write-ups of how it works, how to set it up, and the convenience and ability that it gives you, and the security it gives you and all. I figured it's time for me to learn how to do it. So for about 3 days, 4 days, let's see, about 4 days, I sat here and watched video after video after video, and gone through like two pots of coffee each day that I sat here and done this. When it was cold days and had nothing else to do, no installation, no troubleshooting or anything like that, I just sat here, drank coffee, and just watched videos. And after them 4 days, I figured I had it down good enough that I can take a router, and I took a UISP router, is the ones I'm going to be using now, and be able to configure one by using a VLAN. It took me 3 tries, but on that third one, I saw something. I'm like, I forgot about that. And I saw it in the videos multiple times, but I forgot all about it. I put that configuration in there, and for about a little bit over 2 weeks now, my whole studio is on a VLAN by itself. Everything else in the house is all by itself. Can't see each other. I put the movie server on this VLAN, but I ran it to the point where, and configured it so I can actually see that device on the other side, so we can watch it, the videos that we have on TVs. So far, everything's working. I'm able to remotely access the server, be able to upload or download content. If I'm out in the field, I can upload my videos and then get back here in the studio and actually edit it. So far, everything's working. And if you notice that I'm a little bit closer to the camera, I don't know if I mentioned it last time or not, but this camera I have It's a Logitech 1080p. I can't remember the model number, but it was not able to zoom in and control the lighting and everything like I like to be able to see anything on this board that I'm going to use from time to time in some videos. So I had to take all three of my monitors that I got in front of me and attach it back to the studio display here. And that's all I was able to do unless I buy another camera. I said, if it's not broke, why replace it when I can just put the whole setup right back here? I have ordered a different kind of fiber splice that is supposed to be more tolerant of being in the ground. And that will be here sometime next week. It's like a little capsule that you take the ends off, put the fibers in, put the ends on it, plug it in, then put the capsules, screw it right back on. Same kind that I used on Ethernet wire for a splice, and I put it directly in the ground until I got a chance to replace that wire. And it was down there for over a year. And I never had any issues of moisture. And when I opened it, it rained like 2 days before that. I mean, it was like 80-90% rain for that all day. Then 2 days later, I went over there and replaced the wire. And when I opened it, it had no moisture in it whatsoever. So if it can hold moisture out in that one, little capsule, hopefully this fiber one can hold it as well. They are a little bit more expensive. The ones I've used for fiber was like 4 or 5 for like 20, 22. These barrel screw in kinds are like $10 a piece. But I've had experience with them kind of setups with Ethernet wire direct burial. Never had any issues. Still going to be working on getting one of the RV parks set up with nothing but fiber runs instead of having actually a CPE, because pretty much the park owner is purchasing RVs and putting it in his RV park and actually rent them out that way instead of actually people pulling in their own RV. So I can actually run fiber and put a permanent internet connection in there and don't have to worry about anybody pulling the RV out. Even though they're still going to be on the outside pedestal, but I want to try some equipment out and get using more fiber. So I figured take this whole park. It only has like, let's see, 10 or 11 spots, and that's all they have. So I'm going to run that park completely with fiber. It will be a point to point from the office over to the fence that surrounds the whole place, where I'm going to have my box with all these fiber connections. And then I'm going to run fiber around the back of the RV park, and I can come to each pedestal. I think there's going to be still one RV in there that's going to have a CPE, but because he don't want me to dig up the road at all, and I have no way really to go under the road, so we're still probably going to put a little CPE actually on that one and transmit roughly 50 feet. But other than that, the other 10 RV spots will have fiber ran to them. And I got that fiber that was given to me from my backhaul provider. I was able to put ends on it with no problem. I got new ends instead of the barrels that you have to stick the fiber into. This actually opens up and you stick the fiber into the tube, Then you lay it in, and it closes on it. I don't have to try to feed all of it at once, and that that connector works beautifully. Makes it so much easier. That's pretty much probably the only ones I'm going to buy from now on after I've tried it. It's no wiggling and trying to get the outside coating of the fiber itself to fit in that little hole in the end. This is pretty much trying to stick something into a pipe, and it's real tight to fit in there. If you cut the pipe in half and take the top half off and just lay the fiber in, then take that piece of the pipe and put it back on it, is basically what it does. But it works real well. I had the privilege last Saturday, which was what, yesterday. I had fun go do my good old taxes. And looks like the WIS hobby is growing quite significantly from last year. Pretty much the tax man says, well, if you don't want to pay extra taxes each year, you're going to have to start buying and spending more money. So I thought it's going to get that way. Just had a feeling the way I was installing new clients, as rapid as I was, I knew that I probably would get over that next threshold. So that's when I decided to move up from M5s up to the Loco radios. I'm still not going to change the air cubes from the, what is it, the ISP ones, and then you got the other ones that has 5 gigahertz and 2.4. I'm not going to move up to them because as I do believe I said before, the top package I have for residential is only 60 megs. Them air cubes will actually handle that with no problem, because I've gotten 95 out of them with no problem. The Locos has a few features in it that I like, that you can have it to one AP and you have a secondary AP. So if the first one goes out, it just connects to the second one. I don't see where I'm going to use that in the field that I'm in right now, in the RV parks that I have, where that will come in play, but I never know. And plus, they're faster. So if you got, say, a car that would drive, say, 100 miles per hour, and you pushing it to 90, 95, it's stressing that engine almost to the max. But if you got one that will drive 200 and you push it to 995, it's pretty much still idling. And I've been seeing a lot of people want to get the highest package, which is 60 megs, and I add 30 to 50% on top of that, so it can be maxing them CPEs out, especially during the summer when they have a lot of people down. So I don't want to max them out. I've been looking at some of them and looking at the CPU in it, and it starts to get in the red. I mean, in the 80s and 90s. So I want to get something that's got a little bit more robust to it, and start throwing them up in there. I have rearranged the vehicle. There will be a video on the other channel about that. I just made that video today. I have not even had a chance to edit that video, but it will be up most likely. See, what's today? Monday. That will be actually, I don't think I got any videos on that channel, and if I don't, that video about changing stuff in the vehicle will be up tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. I've been trying different things in the vehicle, of where to put the ladder, where to put my tool bag, where to put all the Ethernet connectors, the end pieces, cable straps, and a few other things like little sleeves that you, when you drill a hole in the floor, you put the sleeve in, you put your wire through it, just makes it nice and neat and seals the holes for no little critters to come through. And the the box locks and stuff like that, I was pretty much carrying every lock I had and every Ethernet RJ45 ends and everything. Every one I had was in the car. I didn't need it. It was just too much. And I tried different boxes and different bags and all, trying to figure out what works and what don't work. And I do believe I figured out what don't work, so I'm going to eliminate that. And what did work, I went on Amazon to find something that would make what did work even better. And I think I found it. And that would be a video tomorrow on the other channel. I've had a few people question, do I have any speeds faster than 60 megs? And I said, yes, I do. At this moment, it will be pretty much a point-to-point for each one, which would be a business. Because I haven't tried anything that would give me anything faster than pretty much 100 megs. Because it's on the channel width is 40, and all the equipment that I've been using would be running pretty much 100 max. So I'm going to try some of these locos on that and just see the maximum it'll come through there. And that way I know what business packages I can actually use them. And anything above that, I'm looking to invest in, since my tax man said spend more money. Well, I'm going to look at some LTU equipment or some wave equipment. I got to study up on it to see the pros and cons. They're supposed to be faster. The channel width I saw, I do believe, like 100, which is insane. But is that point to point? Or is it point to multiple point? How fast will LTU run, and what channel width is the highest that you could put it in when it runs point to multiple point? Which one will give me better bang for the buck, they say? Can I use LTU that would cover all the business packages? What's the maximum distance? If I get some ones that I need, a mile, 2 or 3, or do I need to use wave equipment, which is on 60 hertz, which has a 5 gigahertz or 5 megahertz radio for backup, because 60 will kind of linger right on down when there's rain and stuff. So it has a 5.0 backup. I got to look at all of it and see what would be the best. The LTU, I do believe, is strictly nothing but 5 gigahertz. So I don't have to really worry about rain, which the gigahertz, the 5 gigahertz I use now, all except one RV park, I've never had any issues when the rain. I've actually had people say, well, it's pouring down rain and the internet's still working, no problem. So I got to look into it and probably buy a AP and at least one CPE and start playing with it and get in there and ham and jam and try different things and see exactly what it will do. And the wave is more expensive. The AP, if I recall right, the least expensive AP for wave equipment is like $499. The LTU, which at this tonight when I looked, it was out of stock, but it was only $300 and some. I may buy both and just see which one I like the best. Or I may, what I've looked at LTU more than I have at the wave, the specs. LTU looks like it would do what I want it to do. I probably will go ahead and order that, the AP and a CPE, and give it a try and just see what kind of speeds I will get out of it. It'd be nice to be able to set up a AP, and they're quite small, and be able to throw it up on a pole on the tower and be able to give out business packages as well. Because I've had people actually ask if I have anything bigger. Nobody said, well, if you do, I want to sign up. I text them a sheet of the list of the prices, the speeds, and all that. The backhaul provider here in Sneeze Ferry and Topsail Beach, they have been working on upgrades, improvements, which is going to be symmetrical speeds. So eventually I will have 500 down and 500 up on most parks. Now the one in Topsail Beach, I have 750 down. So that theoretically, if that's what symmetrical is going to be, it should be 750 up and down. That's a big park, and I didn't know if I want to go to 500 or go up to the mid and get 750, because all the other parks, I got one almost as big as that, and I've seen it hit somewhere around 150 in the middle of summer, July and stuff. But this one's on the beach, and it's a little bit bigger, so I decided to go ahead and get the 750 meg download. I'm glad I did, because no more than I got in there, I'm already seeing that sucker hitting 125 and 130. Now, the router only hands out from 2 to 254 IPs. I have to minus all the infrastructure equipment. So that's going to put me, say, I'll probably say 240 IPs that it can handle and hand out. 240, which is 120, half. But each client's going to have two IPs, one for the CPE and one for the AirCube. So that means I can theoretically on that router have 120 clients be maxed out. Basically 2 APs, because them 120 sectors can handle 60 each. But I got 1, 2, 3 up there right now, because the park is in 3 sections. It's in orange, blue, and green. That is where VLAN comes in handy, so I can put another 200 some IPs on another port and have it controlled by the same switch that's in the router. And that's what I'm doing here. Even though I'm on a VLAN by myself in the studio and the rest of the house is on another one, it don't matter which one the equipment is on. The router can see it. It can traffic shape it. It can terminate the service. So that pretty much it's like having one router. When you max out the IPs, you put another router right on top of it and got another 200. But this makes it so you can have it all in one. And there's only like 430 lots. But there's a lot out there I've noticed that actually owns 2 lots. And I asked the secretary in there, I said, roughly how many renters do you have or owners? Because some people actually buy their lots. And they said roughly about 320, 330. So that gives me about 150 individuals because they own more than one lot, and some lots don't even have an RV on it. Some of them will have lot one and they buy lot two because lot one has their RV on it. Lot two is where they park because parking in there is so tight quarters does not discover or not tell exactly how tight it really is in there to turn. Pretty much only way you get in there and turn around easily is if you drive a golf cart. If you got a car, you really don't have that much room to park because you can't really park between RVs unless you own the next lot because you be in the front yard of the next RV. So it's really not that much room in there. So that cuts down of how many clients that I would have in there. Maybe, the router as it's set up now, 2 to 254 is enough IPs to cover everybody that's actually going to get it. I don't know. But if not, I can put a VLAN in there and put it to one port and put another AP up there and ready to go. But that's about all that's been going on. Just working on the new RV park. Got the fiber up and running. Looking to run that fiber in that one park. Switching over to Locos to that run a lot faster. And switching over to them is only costing somewhere about $5 or $8 for every client. I have to buy the CPE and the PoE separate, but when you buy them like five CPEs and 5 PoEs in a bundle, they sell them like one individual 5, and I think the next is 20. IPs increased the 24. Oh, what we got here? Oh, notification. Oh, come on. Okay. Or VLANs and isolate management and clients, two different. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I get maxed out, which probably going to be a couple years out before I get that far. But that's why I saw that potential of running to the max of the IPs. I may not, but I saw the potential that it could, and that's why I started looking into doing VLANs. There's, yourself, there's so many different ways you can set it up to get more IPs. But that's why I want to keep playing around with the VLANs, and I got like 6 routers down here that I can take one and play around with it and just see what I can do, change it, like from 20, like you say, 24 to 23. I mean, it's different ways that I can do it from what I've seen and what I've done here in the studio. Because I have put an AP on the VLAN that I have in the studio and set up a CPE and pretty much just like I would out in the field and see exactly if it will work the way I thought it would from what the videos that I was watching. And and it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. But most of the parks that I've got so far, except this one and the one that I had to run like almost 2,000 foot fiber to, most of them are like 50. I got more in this one park that I got in any of the parks. And I've already got, let's see, I got like 5 or 6 people that I got to install, 2 of them tomorrow. That's why I saw it, people showing up. I've already ordered some more of the CPEs and the POEs. And matter of fact, today is the 20. Let's see, today is the 12th. It should be here tomorrow. And probably when I get them, probably this week, I'll probably go ahead and order a batch another 5, if not 20. But yeah, there's different ways I can set it up and get more IPs out of that router. And the UISP router, the features that it has in it, even if you never used them features before, it's very easy to understand. I've never built a network that needed more than 254. All the networks I ever built in my life, and I've been doing it for decades. Back when it was pretty much Windows 95, actually Windows 3.1, when you had to use like 14, 15, 3.5 floppy disks to install Windows, which I still got the disk. I was running network stuff back then, but I've never had any. I was doing offices and some schools and some bars and stuff like that, but usually no more than 100 and 125 devices. And we just threw in another router that they had so their guests can use it, so it won't be on the same stuff like that. But now, since I'm getting into this even deeper, I wanted to learn how to do the VLANs. I mean, I've seen people set them up and all, but I never had any interest, didn't have any reason to really know about it. But now I can see that I'm in the next 24 months, I may need to. So I might as well go ahead and jump aboard and play around with it and get it to the point where I feel like it's a second language to me, that I don't have to second guess myself when I do some settings. I pretty much go in there and ham and jam it, and okay, I know it's done. And if I have any problems, maybe I can call somebody down in Florida or ride down. It's only, a few hours. Good old long Sunday afternoon drive. That loves to run fiber and everything else down there in the RV parks and mobile home parks. May have to go down there just to say hello. But that's basically all I have for this podcast. Just letting you know what's been going on, what you should expect, and the upcoming videos. Like I said, I got enough videos that's all the way through May the 29th, I think, and I think that's the last Friday of the month. And the next video I put up, which will be the ones I make tomorrow, will be scheduled in June. Oh, let's see. Got expedite here. That's the noise you heard if you did. I don't know if it was loud enough to hear it or not, but they sent me an email and saying, I appreciate that. I will definitely take you up on that. Now, I don't know if you were here last week or not, or the last podcast, but I've been talking to someone that saw one of my videos years ago. I would say 6 years ago. And he's been working on getting all the red tape stuff done, and he wants me to help him to deploy a wisp in a couple areas there in the Bahamas. He's getting up with the internet connections in there and see where he can get a backhaul from. And as soon as he gets all that paperwork put together, signed, paid, and all that, then he's going to get up with me and, oh, yeah, they want, yeah, I'll take that one. Oh, confirm. Yeah, well, all right. Yeah, some coffee money. Oh, okay. Um, but yeah, he wants to do that in the Bahamas, and he actually has come here and rode with me and put hands on to see it firsthand exactly how it works and the what it's capable of doing. So he wants me to go over there and pretty much oversee the installation of all of it. Pretty much do the boots on the ground of layout, what equipment to get, and then he'll order it. Then when it comes in, he's got a few people over there that will be actually doing the physical installment. I'll be doing the programming, pretty much be pointing and clicking. I set up the equipment, point, it goes there, and just here's the equipment, goes on this tower, points at this certain degree, to get to that certain area to feed them people, the CPEs and stuff. So if that goes through, he just called me 2 weeks ago and said everything's still going. He had to get the funding for it. I told him what equipment pretty much it would take back like 3 years ago, because he told me roughly how many houses and I looked on Google Maps and zoomed in. I saw the little villages like that he was talking about and where he's thinking of putting a tower. So I'd done some configuration with the Ubiquiti layout form, and just to come up with what equipment would work in that distance and everything. So it's still in the works, just waiting for him to get he's going to get the lawyer and all the documents, legal documents, and he's got to get insurance. He's all that mumble jumble stuff you got to have before you start and all. And and he said over there to get his backhaul and all, they really not in a rush of getting back with him. He can call him and it might be 2 weeks before they contact him back. He said they'll call you back, but it'll be 2 or 3 weeks before they call you back. But it's a slow process. But he's a lot closer than he was 3 years ago. He's actually going over there and actually getting paperwork, so that means it's most likely going to be become a thing. So. And he said at the rate it's going, possibly next month, he may fly me over and stay for like a week so I can actually really put boots on the ground, see it firsthand, and see exactly what it would take. He may already have his fiber backhaul there and some of the equipment, because I've already told him what he needs, so I may install some just to get the tower or whatever started. I don't know. Time will tell. That's going to be very excitement times of going over there to do what I'm actually doing here. Because when I retired, when I was 45, I wanted to travel. And here I am doing this, and it's actually helping me to travel. Not traveling where I thought I was going to travel. I wanted to hit all the 50 states, and here it is taking me even beyond my bucket list, I guess we can call it. of hitting all the states. And here I'm going to hit all the 50 states and beyond. But I love doing the internet stuff. It gets me out of the house, keeps me physically moving and all. Um, I have some people say, well, you're not retired because you're still working. No, retirement means you're doing stuff that you don't need payment for. I mean, I can quit all the internet and just sit right at home and wouldn't have to do a lick. Just drink coffee and watch Gilligan's Island if I want. But I need some kind of hobby to keep myself moving. If you don't use it, you lose it, they say. And I don't want that. I want to keep moving. I mean, I'm going to be, today's the 12th, so 13 days from now, I'll be 60. I don't feel it. A lot of people say I don't look it. I mean, I'm still climbing 200-foot cell towers. Did it last year. No issues. Need better shoes. But other than that, I'm doing good. But then again, I can be gone tomorrow. But I'm not going to think about it. When it's my time, it's my time. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to even really think about it. I'm just going to enjoy each and every day that the Lord blesses me to get up and put my coffee in my hand. But that's all I have for this show. And yeah, I probably will take you up on that down there. I'll drop right on by. I'll give you a call. Now, the number you have on your website, is that your personal number or is that a business line? What's the best way to get up with your email? You can text me if you like. Best number to text me would be let's see, what is it? I want to say that I don't call the number, so I have to. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, that was it. I just want to be sure I'm putting up the right number. Sometimes I question what my own personal number is on my cell. I don't call myself. I'm afraid I start talking to myself. Then I will have problems. But yeah, 916-500-4822 is the line that I use for the WISP, which the text will come to my phone. But yeah, text me and we'll keep in touch. And when I get a time, I'll pack up the car and slide on down there and hang out with you, run some wire or whatever you're doing, just to enjoy. I get to travel. I've already been to Florida, but I'll go again. Looks like y'all have shipped some of your weather, actually, temperatures up here, because we're starting to get in the 70s and 80s up here now. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, that number there you can text and I'll call you. um, but yeah, I would love to come down there and run some fiber or whatever. Um, get into doing that's something else I haven't got into yet, is GPONs and stuff like that, and have a, what is that, OLT and stuff like that, how to program them. It probably something that I can probably learn real quick after I look at it and somebody show me. I just like VLANs. I didn't know anything about it a month ago, and now after I got into it, looked at it, I'm like, it's more simpler than I thought it was to program. Something else that that I was thinking about getting into, but I don't see any reason to yet. PPOE setting up. I don't think I'm going to probably use that. I see VLAN coming more um, needed for myself than PPP. Was it PPOE? I think it is. What is it? I think that's what it's called. I can't remember now. But I would love to learn how to OLTs and the GPONs and stuff like that, because I can see where I can deploy that into a location. Um, but that I, the only problem I see right now in the parks that I'm in, they don't want me to dig, and that's why they didn't want these big companies come in, because that's the first thing they're going to do is um, dig and set up hubs, and they didn't want that because they have one provider in there is called Brightspeed, and when they come in and run a wire from one person, they cut somebody else's, and then they have to come fix that one, and then the next person, and it just keeps getting cut. Plumbing gets cut, drain line. So they said, yeah, we would love you coming here, but we don't want anything dug up. I was like, mine's all wireless. Put a AP here, put a CP over here, communicates. They like that. They like that a lot. Now that's why I got so many people in there. Oh, 2 weeks. Sweet. See, we are going to run fiber to a new park in 2 weeks. So, yeah, a lot of work coming, and I'm welcome to learn. Yeah. Only fiber I've ever done is single mode point to point. That's the only thing I've really got into, run one fiber and put splitters and stuff like that, GPONs and stuff. I haven't messed with it. I never had any reason to, but I would love to learn it, because if I come across a opportunity to do that, I'm like a sponge when it comes to technology and gadgets and stuff like that. I always have. I'll learn stuff even if I don't need it, but I just like to have that knowledge just in case I ever do get the opportunity. I'm ready to go. 2 weeks. So if that's 2 weeks, that means roughly beginning of May. So if that's the case, I just may block out um, a couple weeks, the first and second week of May, and just hit the road. I'll get up with you and get more information of concrete of when it's going to get started, so I can work around it, because I've told everybody in the parks and the park owners that the only months that I pretty much dedicate to do the wisp of installs and stuff like that is June, July, and August. That I'm not going to go on any vacations or anything like that. Maybe a weekend if I want to go to Myrtle Beach or something. But pretty much them 3 months not to go anywhere and do nothing but the internet and work on the RV, which is basically in the same town where all the RV parks are, at least 90% of them. But the other months, can't guarantee that I'll be here. If somebody says I need internet next week, well, if I'm in the Bahamas or I'm in Florida, they're not going to get internet, at least not from me. Because that's when I like to go on my trips, because I used to stay in motels and hotels when I travel. Well, now we're in a tent. Spring and fall is the best time to go in a tent, because you don't have to worry about bugs. You don't have to worry about extreme heat. In wintertime, I'm pretty much like what is a caterpillar, all in a cocoon, hibernate, snakes, whatever animals hibernate during the wintertime. That's me. And most of the time during the winter, nobody's coming to the RV parks because it's not a full what they call it permanent address. It's a seasonal thing, and they stay here for like 3 or 4 months, which is summer, usually June, July, and August, and leave about September. That sounds good to me. We can do a video chat if you like. Yeah, I would love to do fiber because just like when I fed fiber to this one RV park that has nobody in it quite yet, they just opened up officially April the 1st. They finally got the last piece of paper signed and signed off on it and everything. Power company just came out there. When was it? Around the 8th, and actually put the meters in and tied the main hub or whatever it's called, meter base, to their transformer. And they put up meters in like 30 of the stack heads in the park because that's all he's going to start with is like 30. And if it goes well, then he'll add a landscape a little bit more, put roads in and do another 30, then another 30 until he gets about 325 or so. The parks that I'm in, the main reason why the big companies are not allowed in there is because they don't want nobody to dig because they're real old and they got drain pipes on top of drain pipes on top of that drain pipe. And they don't want all these repairs they have to do, regardless if somebody else is paying for it or not. They just very tedious of not digging. And I got videos where they were digging themselves for some drainage or something they had to move because the health code or some kind of code that changed and they had to redo the plumbing for whatever reason. Well, they cut my main backhaul line, and I went out there. I think it's already actually up on my channel. Where I went out there at night, my son and I, and temporary fixed it. But that's why they don't want to do it because they got lines all over the place, and they just don't want it disturbed. But I would love to have the opportunity to deploy a fiber network if I ever get that opportunity to be able to dig and all that. But just learning it is the first thing I need to do, and I appreciate the offer to come down there. Exactly. I got I brought me a spade, a heavy duty spade. That thing weighs probably good 20, 30 pounds. Steel pipes. That's how I do all my digging when I do. Sometimes I have to run a wire in the ground from the RV to get the CPE out far enough to be able to see the AP if they don't have nothing to put my 10-foot pole on, or I don't want to attach it to the RV because some of them comes in and out, and I don't want to have them to contact me. They can just pack up and leave. But there's a slim to none that I actually have to trench anything. There's a few that I had to run, like the connection from the backhaul house. I had to run it over to so I can set up a point-to-point to beam it into the RV park. I've had one of them, but I'm in the process of running fiber from that house all the way to my RV, which is where I got the 20-foot tower that feeds all the RV park. So that's going to be fabulous because I get 100% of the speed to my RV. But yeah, I'll bring my gloves and I'll bring my my coffee and we'll dig. But you text me anytime and we'll start keeping in touch and when you're going to start. And that way I know exactly when I'm telling people pretty much pile sand because I'm leaving town. When I get an opportunity like this, I'm not going to pass it up because I've been watching your videos and it just inspires me want to do even more. Even though this is a hobby for me, but I just love, back pretty much what really got me into electronics is back when I was still in high school, and when there was still Radio Shack, and they had the 50 in 1 or 150 in 1 boards where you read schematics and put these wires on these little springs to build something. When I was able to build a AM transmitting radio and be able to talk on it and send it down like half a mile, I was hooked. Electronics. I just want to put my hands on every bit that I can. Like you say, coming down there, welcome anytime, which I highly appreciate it. And then when people asked me to go, I went all the way to Arizona and helped people, went to Kentucky, Tennessee, Louisiana. And now here I am, go down to Florida, put hands on, and possibly the way it's going, go all the way to the Bahamas. What else can I ask for? The only requirement I got is as long as I can still have some coffee, I'll help anybody. I just love running wires in an office, church, whatever, and then plug it all in, just watch the lights just light up. Especially when people say, we can't get internet out here. We've been out here for 12 years. We can't get nothing but like DSL. But then I run some fiber, put an AP up there, or, point to point, couple of dishes, and watch people just. I had a few ladies that would just start crying because they're just so happy that when they come home, they don't have to get the kids in the car, drive 30 minutes into town to a coffee shop so they can do their homework. Everything's on the internet now. Now she can come home, cook dinner while the kids are at the kitchen table, whatever, doing their homework, and the husband in there watching TV all at the same time. It changed their life. They can come together and be with each other more now as a family. Just stuff like that makes me want to do more for people that needs it. So I want to learn everything I can. So with all that said, I appreciate each and every one of you to come by and watching. And hopefully some of my videos, you see me down there and in Florida and running some fiber and scratching my head like, how does that work again? But I would love it. I mean, I'm here in a mobile home park myself. I would love to run fiber each one, but they don't want anything dug, so wireless it is. But either way, they got a good internet. But with all that said, thank you for coming by. Thank you for listening. Oh, you making me want to get in my car right now, fill it up with gas, and drive. What part of Florida are you in? Go to data center? Oh, that's like a kid walking to a candy store, wall to wall of goodies. I wish we had fiber here that we can connect to, but it's all the main trunk line on the poles are fiber. Then it converts into coax. Now, this last RV park I actually get fiber fed to my location, not into the RV park, because it'll be a little bit over 4,000 feet, and they said they can't run fiber that far without they're putting a hub, which is understandable. But we got we got a house that we made a deal with them saying, hey, you want some free internet? Um, and they already had fiber ran to their house, so we just got a business account and backhaul and everything. And then I run my fiber from there into the park at another 2,000 feet. But it's not symmetrical. It's still going to be 500 down and 20 up. Jacksonville, well, that's north part of Florida, I do believe, right on the Georgia line. But yeah, text me. You're talking my language. You just making me wanting to get in the car now and just go down there and go ahead and start working with you. But right now, I got 2 installs tomorrow, and I have maybe 3 more that is scheduled for this month, and I can pretty much start pushing them off. So I won't have any when you say, hey, next week we're getting ready to start. Head on down. You give me an address and I'll be there. I would love to go down there. But again, thanks for everybody coming by and watching, commenting, sharing, liking, and all the ones that takes the next step and actually subscribe to the channel. And with that, I will see you next week. If the Lord don't come and the creek don't rise and I get blessed to wake up that morning, I'll have another podcast. It's already scheduled, and I'll see you then. Enjoy the videos on Wednesday and Friday through rest of this month and through all next month that I've already got uploaded and scheduled. Until then, take care.